Alright you guys, ZFR back here once again, and I want to make this a really quick video because I feel like I've talked about loot systems, this same loot system, so many times this generation. Like, I'm just tired of wasting my breath. Like, the system is horrible, I hate it, and I've said it so many times over the course of the generation. I'm just sick of talking about these loot systems in these games, but you know, it's here in Cyberpunk, so obviously I need to, you know, kind of address it. So, for those of you who didn't see it, I did a Cyberpunk 2077 rant recently, and one of the big things I talked about in that rant was this loot system. And I pretty much have a big rant in all my rants, like a mini rant about the loot system in any game that has one. Like I did the same thing for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, so don't think I'm just hating on Cyberpunk here. Like, I can't stand this type of loot system in any game. And I'm going to get into why here in a second. But, you know, first off, just know, guys, that we are going to be having a lot of Cyberpunk 2077 content hit the channel pretty soon. You're going to be seeing a lot more from me in terms of this game. So just know that this is the place to come for Cyberpunk 2077 content. We're going to be covering a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the shady stuff that happened with the game. I know I haven't really had a chance to talk about that yet. We're going to be doing builds for the game. We're going to be talking about some of the quests and storylines in the game and all that. And of course, we are probably going to do a really good review once I feel like I've played enough of the game, even though I've played like probably 100 hours by now. But still, we're going to have a lot of content coming out for Cyberpunk 2077 in 2021. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a like for your boy down below. But anyway, getting back to this loot system. This loot system, oh my, I can't believe this made it into Cyberpunk. I said this in my rant video, but I really can't believe this thing made it. So they pretty much hid this from us up until the last second. We didn't know that it was going to be in the game until you booted the game up and start playing. And it was just a really sucky surprise, especially for me. Now, some people like these types of loot systems. I don't see how, in my opinion, they're completely inferior to the older school of loot systems. And in case you guys need a good example, Ghost Recon Breakpoint is recently a game that had like a problem with the loot system. Like, a lot of people didn't like the loot system in that game. Enough people complained about where they actually added in something called immersive mode, which changed the loot system completely. Now, I personally think that Ghost Recon Breakpoint immersive mode is a perfect example of what a better loot system can do for a game. In my opinion, the removal of that loot system did a lot of great stuff for that game. Now, getting into this, alright, so how do I think the loot system in Cyberpunk 2077 should have worked? That's what I really want to focus this video on, because I've already talked plenty about how I don't like this system and what I think is wrong with it. But I want to focus this video on how it should have been done, or at least how I feel like it should have been done. Because I feel like this honestly would have provided way more options for the players. So they should have had base weapons, right? Like, you should have only been able to pick up each type of weapon once throughout the game. Like, you shouldn't have been able to pick up like 5 different copperheads. You know what I'm saying? 5 different variants of that. Like, give people one like the first copperhead you pick up is the same one you're gonna have throughout the rest of the game. If you pick up the V's pistol or whatever at the beginning of the game, I can't remember what's called, Unity or something like that. That's the only Unity you're gonna have for the entire game. And instead of having people run around and pick up a new gun every 2 seconds, you know what I'm saying, that has a better stat than their favorite weapon that they just got, but now they can't enjoy it because, you know, it's weaker than every other crappy weapon they're picking up, or every weapon that they might not enjoy as much. It's weaker, so they can't use the gun they really like. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing that, have people pick up these weapon types once. And instead of doing the system where they're constantly picking stuff up, instead have people go around looting attachments, mods, different things like that to customize the weapons. Allow people to customize the guns to how they want. You know, maybe even change the appearance of the weapons a little bit when you customize them. Maybe give give people different skins that they can put on their guns to give different status effects or effects or in general, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like different gang skins or, you know, nomad clan skins or stuff like that. Like, this is what I was expecting the loot system in Cyberpunk 2077 to be. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting to be able to customize the stock, the grips, the barrel, all of that on these guns, but you can't do any of that. All you can really change is you can have a sight, a suppressor, and then maybe a mod or two. And that really sucks. Like, that's a really crappy system compared to what we thought we were going to get. Now, don't get me wrong. Cyberpunk 2077 has a really vast amount of loot. It has a decent amount of loot in the game, and it does have some variety to it. And it's not as bad as other loot systems because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the loot doesn't get as stale as quick as it does in other games because they put so much work into each one of these weapon types, and each one of you know, the clothing pieces and stuff like that are really well, you know, thought out and brought to life within the game. So it doesn't get as stale as quick, and because of that, it's a little bit better than other games, but it's still a no, because just think, if they had gone the route I'm talking about, and instead of you know, having enemies drop guns every second, place the guns and the clothing options and stuff more strategically around the world, you know, actually made us do encounters with gangs to get certain pieces of clothing and certain weapons, actually have us, you know, rob corporations or convoys or stuff like that to gain certain stuff, have us help certain characters to gain certain weapons and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, have us, you know, do more kind of story, like quest-based stuff to get the different weapons in the game, and then, you know, allow us to go around the world and farm like attachments and resources and all that to upgrade the weapons to how we want them to be. Now, the system that's there is kind of like this. Like, if you get the more legendary or epic weapons in the game, they're worth holding on to for a longer amount of time. However, the economy in the game is really messy and not that great. So a lot of this stuff, it feels like a waste of time upgrading it sometimes when you're constantly picking up stuff that's better than what you already have. Just imagine, like, if they had went the route I'm talking about, you would have not only had more weapons, more clothing items, there would have been you would have, for one, been able to make your character look how you want them to look. You know what I'm saying? Builds would have been easier, because right now, even if you have a character who's focused on blades, what is that going to do when you're constantly picking up a assault rifle that's way more powerful than your blades? You know what I'm saying? You know, if they had done that, that would increase so many other aspects of the game. The quests, the storylines, you would have been able to introduce more storylines to get some of this other loot in our hands. You would have been able to introduce a lot more gear and stuff, or at least they would have felt pressure to introduce a lot more gear to us, a lot more weapons and customization options. You know what I'm saying? Like that. They would have it would have been more to the system, is what I'm trying to say. it wouldn't have been as shallow as it is right now. And the fact that, you know, we got this loot system, I just really don't like this loot system. And I'm sorry if I seem all over the place. It's just I talked about this loot system so many times in this generation. I feel like everybody's already somewhat heard what I have to say. But you know what? I mean, I just have to give my opinion on before pushing on, because it is one I hope CD Projekt Red hears people out on, and maybe they'll do something like Ghost Recon Breakpoint and give you an alternative. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if they add more weapon customization and stuff like that in the future. Hopefully they do. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, the loot system is you just run around picking up a bunch of duplicates and stuff like that. And I feel like, I don't know, that's not what I was expecting from Cyberpunk. You know, in Witcher 3, you know, you had to do certain quests and pick certain choices and all of that to get certain gear and certain equipment. Like, think about the Witcher hunt stuff. Like the Witcher hunts, or the treasure hunts, I mean, for the Witcher gear and all that. Like, remember those? Like, it's just weird that, you know, we got a system like this from CD Projekt Red, because, you know, you just expect it a little bit better from them. So yeah, I don't know. Personally, to me, I'm not crazy about the loot system in this game. The game is still really fun. I'm still really enjoying the game, right? And the loot system is something I can kind of overlook and work with. But, you know, I really prefer not to. All right. You know, I really hope they do add some kind of alternative to it in the future and stuff like that. But, yeah. And you guys know I can talk all day about this loot system. I want to keep this video short. This was just kind of a quick video to kind of give my thoughts, to kind of just, you know, rant about it a little bit, to get it off of my mind, off of my chest or whatever. And yeah, I'm going to get back to playing the game and having some fun. So yeah, down below in the comments, tell me what you guys think about the loot system. Do you agree with me, or do you think maybe you know, it's fine, it's not that bad or whatever? Tell me what you guys think. Hit that like button to support your boy. We're gonna have more Cyberpunk videos coming in 2021, like I said. But yeah, hit that subscribe button. You know, we're gonna be doing a lot over here, so you definitely don't want to miss out. So yeah, do all that stuff down below. And thanks for watching, guys. I will see you on the next one. ZFR out, guys.